It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Vocation Brewery, and it's a can of this special edition Ascension Motueka Double Dry Hopped IPA. It's coming in at 6.8% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. There's a look at it. I'm looking for a particular beer mat. I've just found it. I'm going to show you the beer mat in a moment because this beer was kindly sent to us by Bingley Brew Club. I'll talk about Bingley Brew Club in a moment, but I want to get this hazy, fresh, tart beer out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, wow. Wow. Looks good. Looks very good. Now, I put a bit of a marker down, haven't I? In 2022, I've drunk quite a lot of Vocation's beers, and it was their best bitter that I said was my beer of the year so far from Vocation. I do love best bitters. I go through moments of loving different styles of beer. And I'm going to say, it's funny, as a beer drinker, and I'm pretty sure you're probably watching this nodding your head. We can go through different moments in our beer drinking time, I suppose. 1 week, 2 weeks, we might like IPAs. For a brief 2 or 3 week period, we might go through a stage of drinking best bitters and loving best bitters. And then for a month, especially the dark winter months, you might go through a stage of drinking stout and porter. We'd all like it. You're probably nodding your head in complete agreement with me. I've drank a lot of best bitters. I really loved Vocation's best bitter. I thought it was one of the best bitters I've drank this year. It was, I can't remember the name of the beer now, Leaping Mountain or something, maybe Crag Rock, or something or other. What was the name of that beer I drank from Vocation? I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, I've woken up this morning, I've eaten my toast, I've seen the wife off to work, waving her out the door, and I fancied a pale ale. I fancied something kind of like IPA-ish. And here I am. I came out, I've looked at my beer shelf, I picked the beer that I wanted to drink, and here it is. But it just shows how, do you mind if I use the word fickle? Because I'm using it for myself as well. It shows how kind of fickle us beer drinkers are, in terms of one day you may wake up and get out of bed and want to drink this style of beer, or wait till the end of the day, or one day you might fancy something else. But I think that's the pure joy of drinking beer, is the fact that every week, every month, every day is different being a beer drinker. One day you might fancy a big barrel-aged imperial stout. I think you get where I'm going with this. Today, right now, in this moment, I fancy some kind of IPA. I don't want a best bitter, I don't want a stout, I don't want a porter, I want an IPA. And this looks like a good one. Pale straw coloured, one finger, white head, little bit of carbonation rolling up inside the glass there, and we have a hazy, yeah, it's nice and hazy, as if they put loads of oats in this beer. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, very tropical. Very tropical, very drinkable. It's got me salivating. It's exactly what I want. A little bit of orange peel, passion fruit, mango, grapefruit. Yeah, should we dive in? Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's exactly what I want. That is exactly what I want. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. Oh, passion fruit, grapefruit, mango. That's what I was looking for. Mango, spiciness, pepperiness, a little bit of bitterness on the back end. It's quite sharp. Got a little bit of sharpness coming through. Creamy, rich mouthfeel. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good from Vocation. I think Vocation have they've not set themselves down a specific path, a specific kind of... I think Vocation are very good in the fact that they will do anything. So you will get really good IPAs from Vocation. You'll get really good best bitters from Vocation. And then they'll do something really wacky like that. I tell you what I had recently, a Bucks Fizz Pale Ale. Vocation's Bucks Fizz Pale Ale, and that was very good. That was an orange infused champagne yeast pale ale. I thought that was fantastic, really good. But then they'll do something wacky, like a Celebrations Beers box set. And I wasn't a fan of that. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't a fan. But I don't think a company like Vocation brews their beers to say, look, you should be enjoying all of it. I think Vocation brews beers for everyone. So there probably were people out there that really enjoyed those celebration beers. They probably thought they were a lot of fun, Christmas time, happy, smiling, this is great, you know. They enjoyed themselves drinking those beers. And then they'll brew stuff like this for me, you know, double dry hop pale ales at 6.8% ABV with Motueka hops and really juicy and tropical and lovely, and yeah. And then they'll brew fantastic best bitters and equally wacky orange champagne yeast Bucks Fizz beers that could have gone wrong, but it didn't. In my personal opinion, they nailed that. They absolutely nailed that. And I suppose that's where we are, in that some breweries are throwing stuff at the wall, literally throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what works. Some things work, some things don't, but they don't seem to mind. They're the type of company that will brush themselves down very quickly and say, okay, maybe the Celebrations beer didn't work very well, but you know, we'll come back next year with something equally fun and exciting, but maybe fine-tuned a little bit. And that's the benefit then of, and this is why you have companies like Shepherd Neame, Badger, Marston's. It's the reason why they're so old, but they still exist, is that they probably went through that very phase of throwing stuff at the wall. It's called a brewer's log. Every time a brewer brews a beer, the ingredients, the water, everything, the temperature of the day is logged on a page, probably online these days. But back in the day, it was a brewer's log, they're brewer's books. So in 50 years' time, Vocation will be able to go through their brewer's log and go, right, that worked, that didn't, that worked, that didn't. People quite like that. People didn't quite like that very much. And they're able to fine tune with this vast book of information that they've built up over the years of throwing things at the wall. They will be able to build up a kind of like, this works, this doesn't, and it's just experience. You don't see Green King making celebration beers, probably because they're part of weird, what are they called, the group. There's a funny brewers group that these big companies sign up for, and they all have to toe the line, otherwise they'll get hit with a naughty stick. Is it the Truman's Group or something? The something group. It's one of those inward looking weird. Yeah. Don't get me started with that. But anyway, it's the reason why Green King don't make Vocation celebration style beers, is because they probably back in their day when they were a young brewery, they were probably doing stuff like that. They were probably making toffee hammer beers, that sort of kind of like Christmas. We'll make a toffee and we'll rip off the toffee hammer kind. But whatever it was back in the day, they probably tried it, did it, realised it didn't work. But Green King have been around for 300 years. Shepherd Neame have been around for something like 400-500 years. They can go through these brewers' logs and realise that maybe a Christmas barley wine in a box is the best way to go down in terms of like selling a beer. Fuller's every year come out with their vintage ale. It's in a nice box. It's a stronger version of London Pride, probably. They put bottle numbers on it. People care about that sort of thing. And they sell a ton of it. They sell an absolute ton of it. So we just went down that rabbit hole, really, of what works and what don't. And apologies if you tuned in for a beer review. A lot of you out there would have tried a Motueka double dry hopped IPA. A lot of you would have already tried that. It's soft, it's pillowy, it's lovely. It's very drinkable, it's very refreshing. It's creamy and rich with the oats. There's a little bit of sweetness from the malts. There's a touch of peppery spiciness on the back end. This is a brilliant beer. This is a brilliant beer. And I'm going to rate it. Looks good, smells good, tastes incredible. I think I went down that rabbit hole. Just one final thing. I went down that rabbit hole because a few beers this year from Vocation have not been my cup of tea. And it's just my way of explaining that there's some beers from Vocation that I absolutely love, including this one. And then there's some beers from Vocation that I might not love as much as, and I might be a bit critical, but I'm pretty sure they don't mind the criticism because they want the feedback anyway. You're not going to love everything you try. You're not going to love everything that's offered to you, and you're not going to love everything that you pick up. It's the way it is. You don't love everything in life, do you? You like the things that you like, and you dislike things that you don't like. And it's down to my honesty why you guys keep coming back and watching me. It's because, okay, sometimes it's harsh. Sometimes I can be like, stone the crows, but that's life, isn't it? That's life. In this instance, this is a Stone the Crows beer, and I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.